In touch with an important development in the 90s? Meet a leader and an authority who's doing things that can impact your lifestyle. You won't want to miss this. So come on along for a special edition of Heartbeat of the City.
This is Heartbeat of the City, the television show that focuses on professionals and CEOs who are making news in science, medicine, and business.
For over 5 years, our show has aired coast to coast and has spotlighted more than 500 leaders and innovators who are impacting the lifestyles of their cities.
Today, we bring you a special edition of our show that takes a look at one such innovator.
In America, thousands die from cancer each year. In third world countries, 3 million a year die from malaria. Do people care? Do companies care? Well, some do. And we're about to meet one that made a business out of saving lives. How? By using natural-based drugs. Now, every day, drugs extracted from 100-year-old yew trees in China, India, and the United States, and from Artemisia annua plants in China, arrive right here to the Biomed laboratory, where they're analyzed and tested on this computer and by the lab's chemists. The end result? Paclitaxel, a drug that's 65% successful in treating breast and ovarian cancer, and artemether, a drug that cures 98% of malaria cases in poor countries where the people no longer have any hope of a cure. And we're here at Biomed Corporation talking with Lloyd Tron to find out more. Mr. Tron, 65% against breast and ovarian cancer. What else is it being used with?
Paclitaxel has been shown to be effective against lung cancer. It affects more than 200,000 American citizens a year.
Now, I understand that it has to be delivered intravenously. Does that mean that someone has to go to the hospital?
Not necessarily. From now on, you can use our delivery system to help you to use in the doctor office and home care as well.
Now, on the anti-malarial drug, how does it get from the raw material to the countries that need it?
After receiving raw material from China, we then process the finished product in California and then export overseas.
Now, expenses are a major problem with third world countries. Is it expensive to cure a malaria patient?
With our artemether product, you can treat a malaria patient for less than $7. That's all.
Less than $7, and there used to be no hope. In a world of business that often bases its priorities only on money and profits, there is Biomedcare Corporation, a company that truly cares what happens to people.
What you have just seen was an actual segment that appeared on a recent Heartbeat of the City television show.
It was an important segment to our viewers.
So we went back to get the rest of the story, and here it is.
Because of the tremendous interest in this story, we've come back to Biomedcare Corporation to talk to Lloyd Tron and find out more about it. Mr. Tron, why is the fact that these drugs are naturally based important?
The natural-based products are very important because being a natural compound is easy to absorb by the body, and the body can tolerate the toxicity of any drug came from the natural sources. And in addition to that, sometimes you just simply cannot synthesize a drug. It has to come from the natural resources.
Now, natural resources means that we're using them up. In this case, trees. Trees have to be cut down. What are you doing to minimize that?
At Biomed, we plan to engage in tissue culture technologies. With that, we can produce paclitaxel from a large-scale manufacturing without using a natural ancient tree. It's similar to fermentation, where the drug can be extracted from a natural sources like the yeast or the fermentation sources.
So you'll make more of it and use fewer trees?
Correct.
Now, the drug comes from China and various other places. Why do we need a laboratory here?
Well, you always need a laboratory to do research in pharmaceutical. At Biomed, we do some applied research on natural products, and we have to check the quality control, the purity of the drug, and also to make sure that there are no impurities allowed in our finished product.
Now, I notice you're holding the delivery system for this. We talked that you don't have to go to a hospital. Can you show me how that works?
This is the MICROS drug delivery system. It is designed for intravenous administration of the drug to the patient. With the devices, the membrane here is a controlling factor. When you add the medication, this time we add color to make sure it's easy to see it. Mm-hmm. When the medication is added into the MICROS, it activates the membrane, and from there it pumps the drug slowly into the patient.
So you can do it right at home?
Yes. We have developed a system that the drug Taxol or Paclitaxel can now specifically administer with over 3 hours. The patient can activate it and simply mount this one on the shoulder. Mm-hmm. So instead of using the electromechanical pump, you can use a disposable, a portable device like this. The patient can walk around and without losing mobility while the drug infusion inside the body.
Now, here in this country, of course, we're very conscious of cancer. Other countries worry very much about malaria. Is it really that big a problem?
Certainly. Malaria has happened more than 100 countries worldwide. They estimate about 240 million people affected by malaria, and annually about 3 million people die of malaria, most of them are children.
It's wonderful to see the life-saving work going on here at Biomed Corporation, where dedicated people such as Lloyd Tron are fighting to bring these terrible diseases under control. Back to you in the studio.
And there it is, a timely report that represents some of the new developments that impact life in the 90s.
It was another focus of Heartbeat of the City. See you next time.
When we appear again on your television screens with more stories that are the heartbeat of your city.